This presentation segment will guide you through the process of submitting the Notice of Completion form. This form is now used by transition nursing students only. Practical nursing students and regular associate degree nursing students use a competitive entry and no longer submit the Notice of Completion. In this presentation, we will be discussing helpful handouts, what a Notice of Completion is, items required for a Notice of Completion, how to take the ATI test, how a Notice of Completion is used in transition nursing, how to submit a Notice of Completion, how you will know if your name is on the complete list, and when you will begin the clinical program. In addition to viewing this presentation, be sure to download these helpful handouts that provide more detailed information and that you can use as a reference. What is a Notice of Completion? It's a form to indicate to the nursing department a student's interest in and completed requirements for transition nursing. At this time, our LPN to ADN transition nursing program doesn't use a competitive entry system. So far, each semester we have enough seats to satisfy the demand. A student notifies us of their interest in our LPN to ADN transition nursing program by submitting a form called a Notice of Completion. Once a student completes the requirements on this form and submits it to the nursing office in Fulp Hall 401, they will be placed on the complete list and be eligible for the next available class. More details about this process will be discussed in the following slides. Occasionally, a student will ask if being enrolled in a class is sufficient for counting it on the Notice of Completion. A student must have a grade of at least a C in the required classes to count it on the Notice of Completion. If you have transfer classes, please allow student records enough time to evaluate your transcript for equivalent courses. Each transition nursing student is required to participate in this Notice of Completion segment of the presentation before the form can be submitted to nursing. You'll be asked to evaluate this presentation in a bit. This evaluation verifies your participation. A South Carolina practical nursing license, current and in good standing, must be noted as a license number on the form. A student may contact the South Carolina Licensing Board for information about receiving a South Carolina license if the current license is from another state. The GPA must be a full 2.5 as a minimum. 2.49 will not satisfy the requirement. If a student has ordered a previous background check from PreCheck, it doesn't need to be repeated unless there have been 2 terms of non-enrollment. Only background checks from PreCheck are acceptable for our program. The entrance for transition nursing is the ATI test of ADN fundamentals. Details for completing this test appear on the next slide. They are also on one of the handouts for this presentation. As part of the admissions process, a student will submit a high school transcript. These details can be downloaded by printing the handout called ATI Test Information. If a student doesn't pass the ATI on the first attempt, it is strongly advised they review their weak areas, summarized at the ATI website. The student should take the time to study before repeating the test. If a student is unsuccessful on both attempts, they would gain nursing entry by the competitive clinical entry process and begin at the Associate Degree Nursing 101 Fundamentals level. A student submits a Notice of Completion to the nursing department to indicate interest and preparedness for transition nursing. This form places your name on the complete list for transition nursing. A student whose name is on the complete list is eligible to accept a seat in transition nursing for the next available class. The earlier you submit your Notice of Completion, the earlier you can be considered for a seat in transition nursing. Each requirement must be satisfied before the form is acceptable. Once the notice of completion has been verified, you will receive an email in your Tri-County email account noting your complete date. It's extremely important to complete all requirements before submitting the notice of completion to secure your complete date. Email notification will come in your Tri-County email account of your acceptance to transition nursing for the clinical program as well. This email will contain a deposit letter, date for your mandatory orientation, and other important attachments for your information. You should look for it in your Tri-County inbox during the months of June for fall entry and September for spring entry. After participating in this presentation, we hope you understand the process for and importance of submitting your notice of completion as soon as possible. You are welcome to view this presentation as often as you wish to review the information. When you submit the email presentation evaluation form found by clicking here, you have verified your participation in the notice of completion presentation. This satisfies one requirement on your notice of completion form. Please take just a minute to give feedback if you have suggestions for improvement of this presentation and the information offered here.